So you think it was a shouldn't have bought it?
What?
Well, they're always shouldn't have bought it.
Well, it depends on what it turns into be.
It depends what it turns into. In about, you know, a year, ask Mike, and then
This is always what they say about me when I bring them home, and then... And that's right, we bought another car. If you can guess, probably know that if it's me, it's a Nova. Oh, there it is. Look at that gem. All right, bring her in.
Oh, what did I do? Yikes.
Wow, there's a lot of stuff packed in there. I'm sure that cow's totally fine.
Hey, but look, it's got a radio in it, so that's something.
Come in Tokyo.
Front bumper and a grill and headlight bezels. Perfect. Was that a weed coming out of the glove, into the glove box and out of the... That's fine. That's probably fine.
You got friends that you tell them not to buy cars like this,
I think there's a bird in here.
and they still do.
It was buried in weeds. I'll put a photo of what it looked like a week before I got it. It caught on fire. Yeah, come check this out. Hold on, let me get the hood release. Boy Scouts over here. With the hood now disconnected. Oh yeah, this is way better than I remember. Oh, I needed the air cleaner for the other motor. We're gonna need a dumpster. Well, these belts are probably still good. They're tight. Yeah. Well, the rad support's not cooked. It's still rad supporting something. Let me just close this on myself. Just slam that down a few times. We'll glue that back. At least we have one piece of the trim. Glove box door. Cigarette lighter still in her. Oh no.
The boss is here. Rebecca, I'm sorry.
Well, what's under the carpets?
We're not really sure. We're hoping for the best.
Oh, you need a new windshield. I think it looks a lot better than the blue one.
Well, that makes me feel a lot better, actually. And at least you're on camera saying that, so you're like partially to blame.
I didn't buy it. I would have said no if I saw it in person. This one's a whole car.
Well, almost. It's got no doors. The hood, I don't remember all the damage on the hood.
Did you even look at the car when you went to look at it?
I don't know what I did when I went to go look at it. I really liked it. And now I don't know if I like it as much. I guess I do. So here's where we're at. Both sides, the brakes are all freed up.
By freed up, I mean cut off. Jacked it up on both sides. Rear wheels weren't touching. And I tried to spin and nothing's spinning. Something's good and locked up. So guess what we're doing? We're gonna try and fit under here now and crack that 10 bolt open.
Okay. Talk to me. Oh, this is clearly been underwater. It's frozen. What? What? Have you ever seen such a thing? Unreal. Look how far back it goes.
Perfect for controlling weeds or clearing ice from sidewalks and rear differential de-icing. It says it right on the box. Make sure you aim that at me while we try to light it. All right, we'll give it to it. Don't hit the gas tank. Where's all the smoke coming from? The brake line is on fire.
Oh, can we like take it out on fire?
Yeah, like a little bit. I mean, it should stop eventually, right?
Alright, we're rolling. She's free!
We got to put lower control arms on this, the coil springs. I mean, and everything that's going to come off the parts car is going to be junk. Basically, we have to rebuild it to take it off to unbuild it.
Because that makes sense. My hood.
Oh, but that one's already racked. Dan, just lift it up. It's riding completely right out of it.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. You're gonna be all right, little buddy.
Now I gotta fix that.
I think you're really close. Go forward a little bit. Oh, come back here. Go down maybe. Maybe back towards you just a little bit. It already looks restored.
Hey, let's go. Keep going. Just drag it. Keep going. You're up trailer.
The ramp?
Oh yeah, you're completely off trailer.
Oh, then why are you still letting me drag it on my driveway?
Oh, you wanted to have marks.
No!
A whole day of doing this.
Just to go from there to there.
Now that the 70's finally on the ground and off the trailer, we really got to get a look at this thing because we haven't really dug into it at all since we brought it home.
Obviously, the inside of this thing is a mess, filled with parts that came with it. Steering column that we robbed out of the parts car. It's gross. There's plants and trees and stuff growing up through the dash. The headliner's still falling out of this thing. Before we get like too far into this project, we really got to know what we're working with. The floors look good from underneath the car, but with the factory carpet, we really don't know what we're dealing with. Mass in here, it's gonna start vacuuming, and I'm gonna start ripping and throwing stuff away. Show them your gloves. See, we're protected. Restored. Floors are mint in this car. Yeah, kind of a rare option for my Novas, because usually when I get them, the floors are cooked out of them. I think that this carburetor fire might have been a little bit more extreme than we were led to believe. There's no seam sealer here. It's gone. Like, there's a little bit here on the tunnel, but all this seam sealer is just gone. Doesn't exist. Same thing on this side. So you can see this guy is supposed to hang down like this, and this is all totally melted. I mean, granted, it's plastic, you know, so it probably didn't take crazy heat. There's the melted fan shroud. Top of the distributor all melted out. Windshield washer caved in. At first I thought that this might have been cloudy just because it was dirty, but now I'm pretty confident that it's cloudy because it's all smoke and fire damage and everything else behind it. The actual like case for this was all melted and droopy, and both of the sun visors, they're all cooked. These things are burned. So the fire must have been real hot up in here, which is probably what actually cracked the windshield. The mirror's all cooked. Obviously, it's the original 307. You can see that the carburetor is all sorts of cooked. She's melted. The motor's not rolling. Okay, well, we're tightening the bolt. Okay, now we're not doing nothing. Well, this is nothing to get worried about yet. Car. Okay, ouch, smashed my fingers. What does this one tell us? Oh, that one's actually dripping water. Oh yeah, great. That's my motor that just puked water. Sweet. Awesome. All right, here's my new theory. The car caught on fire. Clearly caught on fire. We have clear evidence all over the place that the thing burned. Car caught on fire, and then they pushed it into a lake to put it out. Because that's the only thing I can understand. A good friend that I know, he just picked up a 68 Nova. The car was built up to be a drag car and never made it to the drag strip. He doesn't want the car to be a drag car. He doesn't want the drag racing parts on it. So basically everything except for the shell of the car was for sale. I went and took a look at the stuff, and I said, I'll take everything that you're not using. Turbo 350, 15-inch aluminum racing wheels. Bucket seats, Camaro bucket seats. The hood it looks rough from this side because the E-coat that they ship these to you in is not paint. So the bottom you can see all the factory E-coat, fuel system. Holley, autometer gauges.
This ain't cheap.
Big giant autometer tack. Aluminum radiator, trans cooler, electric fan. Well, that's cool. You know,
the morning routine and roll over and look through Marketplace at 5 a.m. led to me sourcing a motor for the junkyard car. It's cheap, it's easy. We're gonna go snag it. I hope it's as good as it looked in the picture. It's only like 5 miles away from my house, so it makes it no-brainer.
How'd I do, Mike?
Oh, it only took 3 to get one good one.
Oh, 3 307s to get a good 307?
Oh yeah, if I haven't told you already.
It's a 307. We're at the local car wash. I usually don't do this, but we're gonna power wash it.
Jesus! $5.43. Please come again.
$5? Last time I ever rewash anything.
Oh my god, another hunk of junk.
No, that's not Rebecca. This is quality parts.
Oh my god.
What are you panicking about already?
Alright, see you later.
That's it, you needed 2 people?
Glad I wasted a quarter of tank of gas.
Front clip is off the car. We're gonna work on this morning, trying to get this cross member out. Maybe yank the motor. I don't know how far we're gonna go, if I'm gonna yank the subframe out from under the car or not. Control arms and stuff are all, well, lower control arms are garbage. The coil springs will have to be replaced. All right, so we got some definite rust in the dash panel here. This cowl actually looks okay. Windshield channel so far doesn't look crazy terrible. Gotta get the vinyl off. So I just started tearing the vinyl, and on this passenger side, it's definitely a little soft. Oh yeah. And holy moly. And then whatever the heck's going on here. Huh. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. Wow, and a lot of dirt packed in here, but no, some tree growing there. No Bondo or foliage. And look how good all that looks. When I buy these things, usually try to make sure roof, rockers, frame rails. That's like the 3 R's of buying a car. Roof, rockers, rail. 3 R's. The rails, frame rails, and the rockers look good. The roof on the passenger side is junk. Now easy does it. Let it go.
Yeah, it got out of control fast. Things have escalated quickly. Now I did take a poll and asked you guys what you thought about the Junkyard 70 here and what you would do with it. And the overwhelming majority of you said leave it alone and just slap it together and drive it. But let me be honest with you, it's a little rougher than expected. You know what I mean? It needs, to me, it needed some repairs before we could just hit the streets with it.
This quarter is way worse than it looks. There's also some of the rust in the roof that we're gonna have to address. The floors look great. you know, there's really good spots of this car and there's really bad spots of this car. So also like some of the window channel stuff, like this is gonna leak forever and ever and ever. So it just makes sense to address this stuff and go from there. We'll see what we do once we do it. Check this out. So the heat from the fire warped everything plastic. The whole speedometer here is all sorts of bent up. There you go. 78,000 miles. And I'm gonna say that it's probably legit. That it's actually 78, not 178. Like I said, because the car is in pretty nice shape. Besides all the damage from sitting for as long as it sat outside with no doors on it and no trunk and half parted out. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that 78,000 is what it had on it when it caught on fire and ultimately ended up in the junkyard. This thing is rough. There's not a lot of usable stuff here. Everything melted off. Even the light bulbs are melted off the back of this thing. Crazy. Somebody's already been in here and trimmed out some rust on the outer wheel well, and then you can see they like zip screwed their own patch in here. I guess it's holding up okay. Yeah, I guess that's holding up alright. Working on the dash, and I finished getting all the spot welds out of this panel here. So now the dash is just doing that. The panel that I have, we're gonna have to slice it and splice it in somewhere in here. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's more better. Okay, use this opportunity to get the rest of the trees out of the dash. Okay, now keep in mind, this car's been on fire. Anything is an improvement from where it was at. Well, that should be connected, and it's not. So that's kind of a problem. We're gonna have to figure out how to secure this.
Now you can better see what I'm talking about. So this cowl has separated from the top part of the cowl because it's all rusted out. Oh no. Oh no. I'm not gonna cut more of this car up. We do have to remedy this. So I got all this wire wheeled, cleaned up, and I just showered some weld through primer real fast. So yeah, we're getting ready to do the thing. And then check this out. So I made all these these are just scraps laying on the floor. I just bent them real fast, drilled some 3/16 hole. I'm just gonna clamp this here lower cowl together to the top part and spot weld these guys, and it's gonna hold it together. And then once it cools down, I'm just gonna lay a bead of seam sealer across the whole thing. But at least it'll be pulled closer together. Now take it easy. I know it's not right, but I'm putting the car back on the road. So that's right. So come on, give me some slack. Got the dash fit in here for the last time. Drilled all the holes for my spot welds along the whole length of the bottom of this thing. Like we talked about, this whole back edge I'm gonna butt weld. I sprayed a whole bunch of rust converter under the dash and on the back of the dash before I fit everything in here. I'm feeling good about it. The new dash is installed, all welded up. I just hit it with some quick black primer. That's not paint, so we still got work to do here. And I haven't seam sealed the whole front lip of this thing, but we'll get there. We'll get to it. I'm super happy with the way that the dash went. Fixing all this in here. Once I get the windshield installed, it's gonna seal it and it's not gonna leak. All this stuff just takes a ton of time. Cutting, fitting, there's so much fitting. You fit the panel over and over and over and over and over, and you just keep clamping it and sheet metal screwing it and fitting it and taking it off and trimming it and fitting it, and it's no big deal. I'm having a good time doing it, but it takes a bunch of time. All right, this is all test fit in here. Got a couple sheet metal screws holding everything tight. And I fit the quarter over top of it, but I'm still waiting on, I ordered the inner wheelhouse to put some patches in there. So before I permanently weld all this stuff and then start really fitting the quarter the rest of the way to finish welding the quarter on, waiting on some parts. But I don't want to stop working on the project, so we're just going to shift to more rust repair and dive right into the floor here. The floor is in a great shape. But right here at the toe board area, where there would be some seam sealer along this patch, I think from the fire, it probably cooked and burned all the seam sealer out of this thing, and then it caused it to get some rust in here. Yeah, a little more there. All things considered, considering my other cars, this is super, super, super minor. What I'm going to do here, which, isn't factory correct, but that's okay. We're not doing anything factory correct here. I think I'm going to slice like a little rectangle portion out here, just where the bottom of this panel's rusted and the front of this panel's rusted. And I'm just going to make a, rectangle template and weld that in there. That'll be great. And then on this side, the floor pan itself is really good, except for that little corner over there. And then I'll bend another little rectangle template in here too. It's going to be a little trickier. It's not going to be that big of a problem. We'll get her in there. Alright, well, if you're looking for an example of a torque box that you should replace or repair, this is it. That's what one looks like that you should definitely be doing some fixing on. This side, a little bit better. I mean, it's still not great, but it's better than this side. I have the way to repair this. The solution is simple. Repaired, can't even tell. So as you can see, I got my floor patches in where the toe boards were rusted out. Beautiful. I just bent them up out of some scrap metal, butt welded them in there, and they are perfect. We also went through and wire wheeled the original floor pans, and they are mint. Obviously, besides where we had to do some patches up there. We also went ahead and I wire wheeled all of the firewall. So that's all cleaned up. Couple holes here where the heater box is, but that's okay. We're gonna make a big block off plate for this whole area, so that'll be good. And wire wheeled the trunk. Couple little holes in the back here. No big deal. I got a solution for this. But overall, pretty nice. Not too shabby. And Also hit that tail panel real quick, which also looks halfway decent. Hit the passenger side quarter panel and look what I found here. Oh yeah. So I touched on that little bit of area where they had some Bondo in here. See what was happening. And no wonder why this quarter panel's in great shape. It's new. New in like 1980. Turns out I am a professional. Here I am spending all this time fitting and trying to butt weld my panel in, and these guys are just laying it over top. This is gonna have to be fixed somehow. But the underneath so far is wire wheeling up just fine. The frame rails, everything super clean. No hokey repair jobs done under there. So other than the patch panel we found in the outer wheelhouse, you know, zip screw deal, and that disaster, we haven't found anything else like crazy alarming on this thing. So as you can see, I have the quarter panel fit on here. A little bit of clamp action, a little bit of sheet metal screw, self-tapper action. I got it where I like it. I think it looks very nice. Pretty happy with the fit on the wheel well and stuff. I did have to bend the lip of the quarter out a little bit to get it to actually fall over the wheel well and then kind of fold her back up. But that's the spot. Now, if I was gonna buy a quarter panel for this, I probably would have bought the one with more of the sail panel roof line here and with like the trunk area would have been nice, but I had this, you know what I mean? I already had the metal. It came with the 72, and I'm not spending a lot of money on this. This is like, I'm already deeper into this than I ever wanted to be. I didn't really want to do any of this. But here we are. That's okay. The inner and outer wheelhouses are done. The trunk extension's done. This is just a test fit on the quarter panel. I still have to decide where I'm gonna cut the car and where I'm gonna cut the quarter. So that's kind of where we're at. I'd really like to probably use as much of this quarter panel as I can. I'm no expert. I'm just making this up as I go, so cut me some slack. Pretty happy with the location of this right now. Gonna do some cutting and trimming and fitting and figuring out where I'm gonna actually weld this thing on, and we'll be back in a little bit here. Alright guys, so after a few days on and off of messing with this and fitting it and trimming it and bending it and twisting it, I finally have the quarter right where I like it. And I'm about as ready as I'm gonna get to weld this thing up. See, the quarter panel is done, and boy I'm stoked on how this thing came out. I gotta be totally honest with you. When I first cut the quarter off, I was a little hesitant that maybe I was in over my head. I have zero experience besides working on the other cars and just cutting them apart and figuring it out myself on how to do body work or paint or any of that stuff. So I've just been learning as I go, and I am so happy with the way that this came out, and I'm glad I decided to tackle it. Some of what I do, I have no idea what I'm actually doing. I just wind up getting lucky in the end.
Looks the same it was freaking a month ago.
Son of a bitch! Come on! Well, besides a garbage door that's still got to be replaced.
It looks good to us.
This is where we're at. Rust-free shell. Rust-free-ish shell. You get what I'm saying. There's no holes. There's no more holes. You have to remember, there's really nothing here. It's just a fender bolted on, a door that's kind of bolted on, a trunk that's semi-bolted on. It's further than, it's pretty far away. But it's basically just a shell that still has no frame under it. It's on jack stands, and just has a wheel laying underneath it. Island Dragway in Great Meadows closes end of November. Let's get this thing to Island right before it closes. Okay,
1, 2, 3. Hey, Houston, I think we missed big time.
Gonna take it off?
No.
What are you gonna
I'm
do?
gonna smear it up with my finger. That moment when you realize that you should have tested the windshield.
What do you mean? Thought we were professionals.
We've only done this before. Don't break the windshield. Oh,
What?
cracked it. Driver's side window crack.
You serious?
Probably when you were beating on it.
You told me to hit it.
I meant like a soft hit, like a gentle.
Do that again.
Instead, you were like, like the Karate Kid over here.
I'm sorry I've done this to you.
As long as it packs tech, that's all we care about.
Oh no, there's my crackage. Whoops.
I screened this to fix the hole. I know it's not right, but this car needed too much, okay? You gotta draw a line someplace. And I drew my line on the race car at putting a whole new roof on it, so this is what it is. And come on, it's pretty good. Never heard the motor run, so I'm sure it does. I'm sure it's small block Chevy, come on. When have you ever seen a small block Chevy? Actually, hold on, time out.
Oh my god, no. Alright, well that's another not so good sign. Oh, that one's actually dripping water. Oh yeah.
Every time I have a 307 it has water in it, so that might be that. Should we check it? No. Don't even check the dipstick.
Don't even look at it.
Don't even look at it. Just slam it in the car and let's call it a day. Alright, so here's our subframe. And like almost virtually every subframe for these cars, these guys always rust out. Sometimes you get some rust in here and here. These are all the body mount locations. Boom.
Nice. I like it. I like it a lot.
This side's done. Super happy with the way that turned out. Because of the way that the subframe is conditioned, all we did was wire wheel this bad boy up. And now we're gonna use some POR 15.
Alright, what'd you get? Junk?
No, I never get junk.
Let's see. It looks the exact same as the other one.
I know, it's a lot heavier. The bottom of the car is prepped and ready for this stuff, but I basically can't pull the subframe or anything up without this, because then I'd have to try and paint around everything. So, gotta get the car undercoated. Yeah.
Daniel,
Yes,
please make sure you wear that mask.
I have it on as we're speaking.
You're lying.
I'm not, I'll send you a picture.
Alright, please wear it.
I'm wearing it right now.
Okay, over your nose and mouth.
Yeah, I know how to wear it.
Okay, please. Please.
Yes, ma'am.
Alright, bye.
Okay, bye.
Oh, frogs.
head just came off the truck?
I think it did.
Okay, now that should theoretically slide. That wasn't that bad. Don't hit that bumper now. Don't hit that bumper. Booyah. Check this stuff out, Daniel.
Oh yeah, that's a sweet puppy.
That's a sweet puppy. That's what I was thinking. It's not rusted out.
I just saw a bunch of rust come off it.
No, that was dirt.
No, that was rust. Doors! The doors! I want the door! Probably we have to clean off the, window. Oh, let me take a look at that.
Take a look at that. What do you think? They any good?
You're so strong. He is not that strong. I bet he can't beat Mike in an arm wrestle.
What?
Oh! 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 What about that one?
Is there rules?
Yeah, the only rules there is no rule. Where you go? All this stuff actually came from the same yard that the 70 came from. Alright, that should do it.
Yes, I was trying to survive.
Congratulations, you were the first one to drive it in 40 years. Now you guys that have been hanging on to the channel for a while here know that what I'm about to show you is not my usual forte. Over here, these units, these shipped just like this. Opened up the box, bam, ready to go, already assembled. I mean, come on, does it get any easier than that? Lower control arms, the bushings are in it, the ball joints are in it. I mean, they've even got cotter pin in here. These are Jegs, there you go, Jegs springs. These were cheap, 60 or 70 bucks. Upper control arm. This is the lazy way to do it for sure. Don't get me wrong. This is 100% the lazy way to do it. My bearing installer 9000.
Hello.
So are you listening to any ditches?
Not yet.
Did you get one in?
Maybe if I can get the tool back out. The spring is in, the spindle's on, the castle nuts are on. I just need to see if I can get this stupid tool back out. Well, here's one that I didn't anticipate happening. The tool is stuck. Hey, it came right out. We bought this a while ago. Paid $300 for the engine and transmission. Came out of a running, driving 72 Chevelle, and it's a nice little unit for 300 bucks. I've never heard it run, but the guy seemed like a real decent, honest fellow, so we'll take his word for it. This motor is a bone stock 307 2-barrel motor, but that's okay. I got plans to do a little rebuild on this unit. Well, bam! If you can't go fast, you might as well look good being last, you know? We're just gonna give this the old rattle can rebuild.
orange?
It's
Of course,
orange.
it's a small block Chevy. It's supposed to be orange.
Oh, it looks nice. Does it work?
We don't know. Hopefully.
It better. Not buying anything else.
There?
You're going too low when you hit it.
Fire up.
I see them do this on TV.
Well-
Gas Monkey Garage.
Bolt in.
And then they get like $80,000 for one of those.
In?
Alright, so what are we hitting now?
Woo! Check that puppy out. Man. This should allow me to not have to run that inner fender well. We've never heard this motor run. Hopefully it runs.
Give it a crank. Whoa!
What?
Did you forget to put the oil filter in?
Yeah, I did. Hey, it's got oil pressure. It just blew all the oil pressure out of the bottom.
Ready?
Yeah, I poured it all over everything except the carb, but yeah.
Fire.
Fire! Hit it with the gasoline rack.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
Bought a cheap Jegs panel
Yep.
for just toggle switches.
Yep. Bought a cheap fuse box. Tied it all in. All constant hot. 20-amp fuses.
Let's give them a full presentation. All right, Mike, give me some lights. We got lights. All right, give me some fuel pump. Woohoo! Okay, give me some fan. Oh my Jesus! All right, give me a quick crank. Woohoo! Oh man, we got ourselves a race car. The aluminum is in the back for the firewall. The shifter is in it and does the shifting. We got shock cross member for our inboard shocks. I actually went the cheap way on this one and it panned out. So we hit up Amazon and I was gonna make my own shock mount, but then I saw this thing for like $98 or something like that. And check this unit out. It claims that it's gonna use the holes for these snubbers, and that's where your shock mount's gonna land. It's gonna connect that square tubing across here. Then we'll have shock mountage. Are you kidding me? Dude, that's pretty good. Fuel cell with the sump. That's the vent tube for the fuel system. The wiring for the fuel pump. We got big, giant braided fuel line. Fuel filter comes over to the pump. Up the chassis. Sneaks in here. Into a regulator. Regulator into barbed fitting. Barbed fitting onto fuel hose, which comes up to fuel pressure gauge, so we know what the regulator's set at. Then comes over into a brake line, into our 2-barrel Rochester. That's right, we're running this big beefy fuel system into a 2-barrel Rochester. Now, I know that's crazy. Why would you go with that beefy fuel system to run into your 2-barrel? Well, come on. This motor came with this 2-barrel, and we're just trying to establish a baseline on our $300 drivetrain here. Untouched, bone stock 307. See what it'll do with just headers and a stall converter. That's the only thing we have going for this. All right.
Okay, go.
That's right. Holy shit. It's gnarly. We set the car up to have no charging system
Because it's a race car. You don't need a charging system. After tuning on it last night with my dad, guess what? We killed 2 batters. So we went to Napa and bought a internally regulated alternator. We're just gonna, you know, make our own wiring harness for this thing. What do you got? Beautiful. Man, it's so good. We gotta move some stuff. Hopefully take it for its maiden voyage. Besides having, like, you know, 400 small things to check off the list, it drove. First time on the street, almost 40 years since this thing was burned up and brought to the scrapyard. Next time you guys see this thing, hopefully you'll be making a rip at the drag strip.
Hello, and thank you for calling Island Dragway. Sunday, November 26th, we will not be open. Temperatures and conditions are just too cold, so that does put a cap on our 2023 season. We will be reopening in March 2024.
All right, so as you see, the drag strip closed on the 26th due to the weather being too cold. But we got the car done. The car is dialed, it runs, it drives, it stops. It's a ready-to-go machine. We proved that you could take one of the worst cars in close proximity to your house, drag it out of a field, set a deadline, get together with your buddies and thrash something together, and we made it happen. It wasn't on our end, the drag strip closed, but know that this is not a terrible thing. Now this buys us some time to make some improvements to the car and get it even more dialed in, so come springtime, this thing is ready to go. Now, we proved that, you know, you don't have to have an insane budget to thrash together a race car. We took probably one of the worst shells, thrashed it together, made a running, driving car on the cheap. And we're gonna hit the track with this thing, and you'll see that here on Hatch's Recreational Engineering. So make sure to like and subscribe, and we will see you guys next time.